You just have like a little bit of...
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Oh, I know exactly what you're removing. I put that as a fake beauty spot. I did.
Are you serious?
Yeah, here's the other one.
Okay. I thought it was just like...
No, it wasn't a mistake. I did it on purpose. It was not a mistake. Welcome home, honey.
Hello! If this all fails, we'll have the memories for ourselves.
Hectic. It's a thumbnail.
We should do a thumbnail.
Oh, I know these things.
To say hello and welcome.
Hello?
Hello. Can I tell you what we're saying?
Hello and welcome, everyone.
I have not done this in a while. I said that the last video would be posted soon, part 2 to the first episode of Ask Mad, and it's been a couple months later, but I can compensate because I have a very special guest that is going to be
You might have seen me on the screens. I sing a very popular song. Irreplaceable, you must know. It's Beyonce!
For those of you who don't know, this is my non-official wife. We have been friends for 5 years. Our friendship started over a very awkward pizza date. Do you want to tell them the story?
Did she have a car by then? No.
No.
So we were both waiting for our parents to fetch us, and then we were just like, let's go have pizza. And it was just the most awkward date.
Because all our other friends had left us, so we were forced to be together. And at that stage, we weren't really like close yet.
I thought it was natural, like it just naturally.
Everyone else had left.
Okay.
So without further ado, let's answer some of your questions. 5 things you recommend to stay positive in hard times.
Change your environment, because your environment can be very impactful in the way your mental health is affected. Let's say, for one, you're living alone. Maybe that space, being alone, can negatively impact your psyche. So maybe going to live back home if that's possible, or surrounding yourself with friends. Ask a friend to sleep over just so that you're around someone and you can get back to being okay mentally. And then the other end of it is if you live with your family, sometimes that can be overwhelming, especially when you're around each other all the time. So with that, you can also maybe take time away from that, even if it's just a weekend.
Surround yourself with good friends who can uplift you during times like this, because it's very difficult going through hard times alone and feeling like you have to carry the whole weight of the world on your shoulders. And a lot of the time we do feel like that, but then we forget to reach out for help. So I think just being transparent and telling them, listen, I'm not okay right now. I'm sure the people in your life who love you will definitely do their best to be there for you during your time of need.
Going back to things that you like, because I feel as though many times people get distracted by the everyday routine, going to work, going to school, or just having responsibilities, and that can absolutely weigh on you and impact your life negatively. But a way to counter that is to find time for yourself to do things that you like.
In my own journey, whenever I've had hardships, especially in recent times, I can't rely on my own strength, and as a human being, I realize time and time again the fragility of my heart and how easily it is for me to get derailed by worldly things. The one place that I always feel comforted in is in the presence of God, whether that just be like reading the Bible or playing some worship music, whatever it may be. It usually helps me feel less anxious. I think so often when we are in a pit and when we are going through something awful, it's very
bad.
Yeah, we only look at the bad, and our mindset, of course, because we're in that state of mind already, is just so fixated on the situation that we forget the rest of the positive things we have in our life. So I think when you are going through hard times, remind yourself of what you still have in your life that is good, that is positive. Lean on those things. What advice would you give to single people in this season of their lives, and how not to compare themselves to their engaged or married friends? I can relate to this. I think a lot of us in our early to mid 20s feel like we're in this weird time and weird like season of our lives, and it's very difficult, especially when you know people in your circle who are in that phase of their lives. It's hard not to compare yourself to them, because I mean, we all want to find our significant other, we all want to start the next chapter of our lives. I keep reminding myself that everyone's journey is different, everyone's life is different. You are being prepared and molded for something much greater, and your person is out there. It's just a matter of time now.
It's very normal to feel like you might be missing out, but sometimes that idea of, oh, I kind of want what they have, comes from you just constantly being around it and then wanting it because you're just always exposed to that. But that's why I believe that it's very important to have different friends, different groups. It's good to have friends that maybe aren't in a relationship, because with friends that are married,
the dynamic just changes, obviously.
The dynamic
have different
changes.
things to focus
yes,
on now.
Everyone has different responsibilities. Even with friends who, you can have a friend who is employed and you're still a student. It's going to be very difficult because they work 9 to 5 every day and they have bills to pay, whereas maybe you are still dependent on maybe your parents financially. So it's very important to have different types of friends.
For me, what gives me comfort in this time of my life, because I mean I'm single at the moment, so
07278.
no, that's anyway. There are different types of love relationships, and in the time that you don't have a romantic relationship, focus on your friendships, focus on your relationship with your parents and your family, because that's just as important to nurture and maintain every kind of love relationship you have in your life. And when the time is right, like I said, your significant other will turn up when you least expect them. But if you are in a season where your friends are getting engaged and or are married, I just think each to their own. What advice would you give to a person of color on how to deal with racism?
A lot of people mask it with ignorance. So a lot of racist remarks will be followed by, okay, teach me. And it doesn't take much to understand that that is offensive. You should never have to explain your place somewhere. So, for example, if you're experiencing racism in school, absolutely try and call it out. So go to someone, maybe like a head teacher or someone, and express your experience of racism and call it out. You must never be complacent to mistreatment, even if it's to someone else.
And it's sad sometimes, you know, people who call themselves Christians will go around being racist, and it like promotes a false idea of Christianity. And because at the end of the day, that's not what it's about. Especially as Christians, we are called to love on people and to love all people. You can't call yourself a Christian but then be selective of who you are nice to or who you respect, because at the end of the day, we are all the same. You need to do some introspection and realize that, you know, there are some fundamental ways of thinking that need fixing, and you need to work on them. Okay, what's the best thing you've done this year that's changed your approach to life?
I think I've started prioritizing things differently.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this, well, actually starting last year when the pandemic actually started, I started prioritizing myself most importantly. And I started pouring into myself. With the pandemic, with the start of the pandemic, there were so many changes. With school, you know, with our lives, just school became online, so there were so many adjustments that had to be made, and it took such a toll on my mental health, you know, just being worried about the perspective of things, what's going to happen next. How do I keep my relationships okay if I'm not seeing my friends? How do I keep my my relationship with my partner okay if we don't see each other? How do I balance school and my personal life? How do I make time for myself? And I realized that none of those things would work out if I wasn't okay. So I made the decision to put myself first. Nothing else can be okay in my life if I'm not okay. So I started to prioritize things that needed to be done in my life, that needed to be done for me, and not a thing of, oh, let me check on everyone to make sure they're okay before I'm okay. And that really changed a lot of things in my life, because you know the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup.
I was literally gonna say that. I was waiting to say that line. I'm like,
you can't
pour from an
empty cup. Like
yes.
You can't. If I'm not mentally okay, I can never help another friend in need. Or if I'm not happy, I can never receive someone else's happiness. So I realized that if I couldn't get myself there, then I needed to take a step back and find myself back to myself, and I did, because now I'm here and I'm happy.
The camera memory card is full, so we've switched over to my phone. So if you see a shift in quality, humble apologies.
How do you deal with an existential crisis in your 20s?
Whoa! I've had about
Wowza.
I've had a few of those.
Yeah, I'm in
honestly.
my quarter life crisis.
No, let's not speak that over our lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're absolutely fine.
I'm fine.
Yo, how to deal with this existential crisis? I think maybe
Take a break.
take 50 steps back and honestly don't put so much pressure on yourself. There's more harm in trying
To do too much.
And like, just take a day at a time. There's no point trying to envision the next 5 or 10 or 15 years of your life when you can't even get through one day.
Absolutely.
You know, it's good to have goals and ambitions and dreams, and it's good to work towards things.
Absolutely.
But like, you aren't going to, you can't expect to sow a seed and then the next day you have a plant.
Yes.
The same way you have to water that seed and be patient with it is the same way that you have to be patient with yourself.
Profound.
Okay guys, if you have reached this point of the video, then you would know that we have been experiencing the absolute most. I feel like this video is a testament to our willpower and perseverance. So like this video for perseverance, because we have experienced so many technicalities, whether it be construction, lighting, dogs barking, camera memory cards getting full. It's just been the most, and yet we still took the time to come together to film this outro for you over Zoom.
Thank you guys for trusting us with your questions, and hopefully we answer them to the best of our ability. Please remember that we only answered the way we would deal with something, because that's the best way we could possibly advise you guys.
Don't forget to like,
Comment and subscribe.
That was pretty good. That was good. That's as good as it's gonna
That
get.
was live.
I feel like my head was so little.
Without further ado, it's me. Let me do that again.
Please don't forget to like,
Comment and
subscribe.
oh my gosh.
Why?
Why? I'm so sorry.
Why am I so awkward?
You're in the presence of Beyonce.
It's very true. It's very intimidating.
It bleached it. So bleach fell here, but it just builds a bit of character. You could actually tie-dye this entire thing.
And we will see you, or I will see you, or we will see you, depending on if you want to see Bev again. I mean, smash that like button. I love you.
I love you too, wife. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
I'm just gonna leave, ne?
Yeah, you can leave. Okay, wife.
Okay, bye, wife. Love you.
Bye. Love you.